But now we get to talk about the Arizona Diamondbacks. We get to talk about that important series that we've got coming up here. I said about a week ago, ask Blake for a hot take. I will. Give me a sec. I got it cooking. A week ago, how this series upcoming against the Diamondbacks was the series of the year. I still think that, because you look at it, if it's within that 4-game window, Dodgers are up for that. Worst case scenario, you could leave tied for the division, right? So if you're going into that, at the end of this series, with best case scenario, you go 3 of 4. What are you up, 7 on the Diamondbacks? So it either can not make or break you, but it can create so much separation between the Arizona Diamondbacks that their sights to make up an 8-game lead, or 6 to 8, anywhere in that range, that's humongous, man. Like, that's talking about, then they set their sights on the wild card, and the Dodgers focus on either holding off the Padres and just a matter of getting themselves healthy and finding spots for all their guys. It's a massive one.
Yeah, I don't even think they'd technically be tied if the Dodgers were to get swept, because then the Diamondbacks would have sole possession of the season series and the tiebreaker. Right. So, like, in the standings, they'd be tied, but theoretically, like, the Dodgers would be behind a game. So it is huge for them. They got to come out, and I think at minimum you have to take 2 games in the series. I think I would be happy. Like, I wouldn't be happy with 2 games, but I'd be fine with that. You kind of keep pace in the division, and that's what you need to go do there. I'm going to say they win 3. I think they do that. I'm pretty sure Christian Walker is still injured.
Yes.
So,
from what I saw, I mean, anybody in chat can tell me something different. If Torey Lovullo spoke on the availability of Christian Walker and Ketel Marte, I think that from what I saw yesterday, the latest from Torey Lovullo was that Christian Walker and Ketel Marte are targeted following the Dodgers series to make their return. So that's a huge update. That's an absolute huge update in terms of guys who rise up when they face the Dodgers. Ketel Marte was on an MVP, push performance outside of Ohtani before he got hurt. But, we know how Christian Walker is, man. Dodger killer.
Yeah. Those Diamondbacks first baseman always, with Paul Goldschmidt there, like, just, stay away from them Dodgers. Got to watch out for Josh Bell now. But It is a big series for the Dodgers. They have to win. Like, it could be the thing that determines the division this year. They don't have any more series with the Diamondbacks following this. I think their only other NL West games are 6 games versus the Padres at the end of the year and 3 versus the Diamondbacks, or not the Rockies. So, like, Rockies aren't going to be relevant in this. And the Padres are kind of creeping around there, but also falling behind. So it really seems like it's Dodgers or Diamondbacks, and the Dodgers do have a nice lead right now, but like we just said, the Diamondbacks could come back and take that lead from them. So it is a big series here. It's kind of the start of the postseason, it feels like a bit. Dave Roberts said the Dodgers are in playoff mode right now. They know what's at stake. They're trying to win. He said they don't want to, like, add pressure to themselves on this series, and they don't want to, like, put an extra gear on it, but I kind of feel like you need to do that a little bit. You don't want to completely add pressure and then fall apart because you're trying too hard and pressing, but you do need a sense of urgency when you're going out there and playing them.
Yeah, absolutely. Dodgers aren't getting swept. They're not getting swept this series. That's not happening. But I'm with Blake. You say what?
Someone write that down.
Write that down.
Just in case we have to come back to it.
Yeah, I mean, if they do that, that's on them. There's no juju in that sense. But the Diamondbacks have, starters lined up for this. They've got Zach Gallen, Merrill Kelly, Brandon Pfaadt, and then you guys tuned in Monday against Eddie Rodriguez. Eduardo said he didn't want to come to West Coast. He didn't want to do it. Dodger legend, Eduardo Rodriguez. He said, West Coast stinks. I'm never going out there. Trade deadline? I'm staying in Detroit. Standing on business in Motown, Detroit. So the probable starting pitchers for the Dodgers, I know what it says on some websites and things that Jack Flaherty's penciled into Sunday, but the actual rotations that the Dodgers are going to toss out right now is going to go Clayton Kershaw on Friday, Gavin Stone on Saturday, and then on Sunday, who are you hearing that they're putting out there?
It's not confirmed, but it seems like it's going to be Justin Wrobleski. They're going to give Flaherty an extra day after he was hit by the comebacker. doesn't seem to be any major concern there, but kind of gives everyone a break, lets them reset the rotation a little bit. You still get Flaherty versus the Diamondbacks, so that seems to be their plan right now. That would be Wrobleski's day to pitch in AAA anyways, so it's not changing too many things. And
Yeah.
I know a lot of people probably are going to ask about Knack, but he doesn't seem like he's going to be an option again this year unless it's for a major injury, because once they call him back up, they'd have to keep him on their roster. They wouldn't be able to send him back down because of how the major league option rules work anymore. He'd have to clear waivers.
Stay there, yeah.
Probably not going to happen again this year. He seems to be more like their break glass in case of emergency kind of guy.
Absolutely. And when we're big fans of Landon Knack on the channel. Absolutely. All of chat, you should be too. But with Justin Wrobleski, it lines up perfectly. A lot of the damage that he's given up this year is on a lot of solo, just, some homers, some solo shots there, gets into trouble in that sense. Big fastball guy, fills up the strike zone. Mistakes will happen with those young guys. But the Diamondbacks are a sub 500 team against left-handed starters. They're 22-25. So Clayton Kershaw going in the opener, and then you get Justin Wrobleski on Sunday in the third game. I'm fine with that. The biggest plus for those left-handed pitchers in the series projected with, Clayton Kershaw and Justin Wrobleski is that it keeps two of the hottest hitters in Major League Baseball off the field, I would say, unless they put Jake McCarthy out there every day, but also Jock Peterson, who is absolutely dominated against any right-handed pitching this year. Rake McCarthy, not a typo, Rake McCarthy has been unbelievable this year. He's had a crazy turnaround. It's two bats who, against lefties, you possibly get to miss.
I think McCarthy's been playing every day for them now again. Yeah, I have him on my fantasy team. He's been filling in for me for my injured Mike Trout. So, yeah, McCarthy has been playing every day. He's been doing phenomenal for them. And
line it up.
Jock versus righties, we know what he can do. He's been incredible versus them this year. So keeping him off the field is a plus for the Dodgers. McCarthy is still a challenge for them, but yeah, it's still a tough lineup. I think they lead MLB in runs still at this point. So it's not going to be like, hey, we're going in facing the Diamondbacks without their best hitters because Jock's on the bench and Christian Walker is injured and Ketel Marte is injured. It's still a really good group that the Dodgers are going to have to go in there and play good baseball against.
Yeah, and Corbin Carroll's had a solid turnaround here. He's had some slug. He's found a run here. So definitely not a rollover series, guys. Like it's definitely Corbin Carroll's last 30 days, he's OPSing over 950. So he's found a run there. Dynamic player. It's a series that, you could see again. The NL West has three of the hottest teams in Major League Baseball since the break. So it cannot go unnoticed. There's a reason why there's some pressure on the division here. It's because NL West, I saw somebody say in chat earlier, it's the best division right now.
Yeah, for sure. Real quick, going to address this one. Trout, I did not waste a pick on him. It's a dynasty league. I've had Trout for 5 or 6 years now, so I just can't trade him because no one's going to trade value for Trout anymore. But also, if he's healthy for me, it's good for me to have him, but my team is pretty stacked. I may also have one Shohei Ohtani and one Aaron Judge and potentially a Jose Ramirez and Juan Soto.
Yes, and so, that is stacked. Blake. That is. I'll lead right into this here. When young Blake speaks, we bow down. I don't know how true that is. I'm not going to give you that much credit.
You should not bow down to me or anyone else. Be you. And yeah,
what a guy. What a guy. Well, I want to go start to start here with you and the probables and with what Clayton Kershaw against the Diamondbacks in Chase Field. What's something you're looking to see from him? I saw somebody say set the tone. What aside from that are you looking from, the first ballot Hall of Famer?
Just another outing where you can kind of build on it. I don't think he needs to go in there and prove that he's the Kershaw of old, but just have a competitive game, keep the Dodgers in the game, keep the Diamondbacks at bay, and you'll be fine with that. You don't need them to go out there and throw 9 shutout innings because we know what the lineup can do. We know what they're probably going to do. It's going to be good. They're going to score runs. So just give the Dodgers a chance to win, and that's all you need from Kershaw.
Absolutely. Yeah, with same thing on Clayton Kershaw here. It's limit, the big swing. For the love of God, limit the big swing. Ball's going to carry. It's going to be toasty. very toasty in Arizona. So just limit the big swing there. Against Zach Gallen, I was very, yeah, Will, don't throw the fastball. We'll know right away. We'll know right away with that slider, how he's working it. When Clayton Kershaw has been at his best in, his last handful of outings, it's even him. He spoke on manipulating the shape of his slider and turning into more than just one recognizable plane and working it off each other. But he's got to be able to find some fastball command. Same thing. A lot of the same theme with a lot of these guys. But Zach Gallen, I want to see the Dodgers do just what they did to Corbin Burns. Be patient, hit the mistakes, take care of business there. Against these front-end starters, it's been a barometer for me all season. But I'm really looking forward to, the top end of the lineup. Shohei, Mookie, and Freddie Freeman will be back in there against Zach Gallen. And I see right on cue, Jason. I'm excited to see Shohei versus Zach Gallen. Absolutely. What about you, man? Like, where are you at with the offense, and what do you expect? I don't want to what you think. What are you expecting the offense to do?
I just expect more of what they've been doing so far since they've got healthy and made their trade acquisitions. The lineup has been taking quality at bats for the most part. They've won games by putting together like the small ball rallies. They've won games by hitting the homer when needed. And of course, they always have the few games where things just don't go right for them and they score 2 runs or whatever. Like, that's going to happen in baseball. But as long as the at bat quality is good and they hit the ball hard, and like, I'm going to be happy with that. Things aren't always going to go well for the offense, but just take quality at bats and don't do what they did in the postseason last year. Don't wait till you're in 0-2 counts and then swing at everything because you need to chase and expand the zone. Don't do what they did the other night where the umpire was giving pitches like an inch off the plate and the hitters just weren't swinging and they're striking out. Like, those are things where you're not taking quality at bats there, and that's when there's a problem with the offense.
You got to adjust.
If you go up there and have a 9-pitch at bat and you end up striking out, like, you can live with that. That's a good at bat there. If you go up there and you hit the ball hard on the first pitch and it's 100 miles an hour, but it's a line drive at someone and it's an out, like, you can live with that. Just take good at bats. It's all you need from this team right now. And that's what they've been doing for the most part.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially against what Zach Gallen's been bringing to the table. In his last 39 and a third innings, he's got 20 walks. So make him work, please. He's giving it to you. A 1-4 something whip. I can't pull this over, but he's giving opposing teams the opportunity. Do not let him off the hook. Make him work counts, punish the mistakes. Do what Teoscar Hernandez did against Corbin Burns there, with runners on base, work some counts. And when you get a mistake, you hang it, you bang it, do some damage there, take advantage, of the stadium there. And I'm confident. I'm confident with what they're doing right now. Hopefully Freddie Freeman, a couple of days off. He got that blow, and then you can really kind of get that top end of the order, find a rhythm, get him back at first base. And we'll see what they could do, man. I'm optimistic. Chat, I really want you to let us know here, kind of 1 to 10. What's your level of optimism going into the Arizona Diamondbacks series with the Dodgers? And if you want to say some expectations, let us know too. We read through all of those. If you're listening postcast, toss your expectations in our comment section. Blake and I are pretty active in those. We usually will double back on some comments, have some conversations with people in there. But we want